What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to our weekly Tester Tuesday series where I get reviews out to you based on my home in the hopes that might help you decide if scent's going to work for you or not. So we have a very strong scent and one that is not very strong to discuss this week, so let's get started. All right, let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is scent of the month for June, Lemon, Sugar, and Sage. This is in the citrus category. It has this beautiful yellow color wax. On cold snip, I would say intensity-wise, it's about a medium, and it had 40% of the vote. I don't know if I mentioned that. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, cheerful Meyer lemon sparkles alongside cool blue sage and wild sugarcane. So when I smelled this initially on cold, I thought it was a different type of lemon, but I thought it was really nice. I enjoyed it. I decided, well, I'm going to put it here in my bedroom and maybe in the kids' bathroom because it did kind of smell a little bit cleaner lemon, but still very sweet, hence the sugar part. So I put it here in my bedroom first, and I put 2 cubes here and 2 cubes in the bathroom, and I left that door open. And it really changed for me from when I smelled it on cold sniff. On cold sniff, it wasn't overly aggressive, but in the warmer, it really came to life. So I'll talk a little bit about performance as I discuss the scent as well. So when I first put it in, it smelled like an old style lemon powdered laundry detergent to me. There was definitely a laundry type feel to it with a strong lemon presence. And it was like an old school powder, almost maybe when laundry soaps were early in their production. So that's what I thought. And I would say about, in my bedroom here, strength and throw was about 8 out of 10, and it stayed that way fairly strong for maybe 5 to 6 hours, and then it dipped dramatically, and I thought to myself, maybe it's dead. But then it wasn't dead, because when I came back in, I left the room, I came back in a little bit later. It smelled like, I have written down, an older style masculine leaning citrus soap, somewhat like maybe my dad would have smelled like after getting out of the shower and being dry for a while, just a little bit of an aroma coming off. But I definitely could smell rose, and I think it was a yellow rose, and it's probably the color. But I feel like there was a lot of rosy floral and then a little bit of a citrusy soap that had a tinge of masculinity. So I did look up what is blue sage. And blue sage, it says it has a herbaceous and floral aroma, and it's somewhat similar to lavender. By the way, Meyer lemon is mostly lemon with a little bit of mandarin influence, but in my opinion, it smells mostly lemon to me. So maybe instead of lemon, sugar, and sage, I would have joked around and said maybe this should be called lemon, laundry, and lather, because it smells like laundry and then it smells like soapiness to me. So after that initial dip, it was probably about between a light to medium with that rosy, citrusy soap, and I left it going a day, and then I just couldn't smell it after that. Now, I thought, well, let's try it in the kids' bathroom, because really this doesn't present to me as a bedroom scent, but this was the only spot I had to warm it. And so I put it in the kids' bathroom, and I decided to use their Nova warmer, which is a 20 watt. I still used 2 cubes like I normally did, but I just wanted to see if that would bring down the intensity. And it didn't really bring down the intensity. That first phase was about 8 to 9. It was very strong. And then again, maybe six-ish hours later, it seemed to be lighter, and then I did leave it again for a day. So I think if you're someone that likes citrus-based, clean style scents that read a little bit soapy, laundry, maybe a tiny bit herbaceous, floral, and even rose, then give this one a try. So what I would probably say is stick to bathrooms or laundry rooms and use maybe half the amount of wax that you normally use and see how it does. You can always add an extra cube in as time goes on, although you shouldn't really add new wax to old wax, but sometimes, who really cares if it's just a little bit. The other thing is, say if you had bad scents in your home and you wanted to neutralize them, I think this would be a good one to put in. If you wanted to try it in a big area, I think it would do okay. However, I would start my warmers. So put this in, maybe if you had 3 warmers going, put this in and start one, and then after a few hours start another one, and then after a few hours start another one. Now if you do that, you start with your lightest warmer first, and then you bring in your heavy hitter at the end, so that roughly everything will run out at the same time. Now for me, I will just say this is a cautionary tale of how things change from warm to cold. So on warm, I didn't really get a ton of laundry. I didn't get a ton of soap. I just smelled a really pleasant lemon. And I was like, wow, this is different than I thought, but I think I'm gonna like it. And then after I warmed it, I was like, now that's all I can smell is the laundry and the soapiness and the rose. So not one that I care for, but let's see what the family thought. And you guys are gonna kill me, but I also forgot to get Erica's opinion again. So my husband said, ooh, that's different. It smells lemony. He gave it 7 out of 10. And Ryan said, smells good. He liked it at 9.5. A surprise. So will I be repurchasing this one? No, I think I have three more to use up. So I will probably stick to the kids' bathroom and use them up that way. So that is lemon, sugar, and sage. All right, let's talk about our second place scent for the week with 18% of the vote. It is Rugged Mountain Rain. This is from the Puddles and Petals wax collection. This is in the fresh category. It's a white wax. And on cold sniff intensity, I would say this is light. So let's read the description. Scentsy says, cool mountain mist passes over wild moss clinging to rough granite. So on cold sniff, I remember saying that this was a sweet, neutral style scent. Maybe I smelled a little bit of a hint of moss, I don't know. So on warm, I found this one extremely light and hard to pick up, but it did do somewhat okay here in my bedroom for a few hours. But again, it just smelled like, I have it written down, it smells like you went up to the mountain and on a mountainous getaway retreat, and your significant other started whispering sweet nothings in your ear, because literally it smells sweet and it kind of smells like nothing. It smells like a sweet, neutral style scent, but it was enjoyable. So let's talk about what the family thought. My husband said no comment except to say that I can't really smell this very well. It has pretty much no smell. And he said, but he liked it at 7 out of 10. And Ryan said he liked it. It smelled somewhat clean and pure to him, and he gave it 9 out of 10. So what I'll try to do is find out what Erica's thoughts are and put them down in the comments. She's working a lot, and now she's at the gym while I'm filming. So I did warm the usual 2 and 2 cubes here, so a total of 4 in my bedroom bathroom combination. Here in my bedroom, at most it was between 3 and 4 out of 10. So I thought, well, I can probably live with that. I had that for maybe the first 4-ish hours, and then I couldn't really smell it. And I decided, well, let's try a small space, a really small space, the storage room. I only have a 20-watt warmer there, but no, it didn't do very well there at all. I said 1 out of 10, maybe 2 if I was being generous. Maybe 2 if I knew what I was looking for, but very, very hard to smell. I did leave it going a day just to change it the next day, but not very strong. So I think if you're someone that likes barely there scents or you're sensitive to scents, then Rugged Mountain Rain would be a good one to go with. Now the issue is I also struggle to smell scents such as Honeymoon Hideaway, but I know there's some people out there that can smell that, so maybe there's some people out there that can smell this no problem. Personally, I find it hard to pick up. And if you're gonna try to use it, maybe stick to a small space, a good performing warmer, and use extra cubes to see what you can get out of it. I call this a WOM scent, waste of money, unfortunately. And I think they should adjust the price of the Puddles and Petals collection to be the price for 3 full-size bars, and this one would essentially be free because it's so scentless that it should be no charge. Will I be repurchasing this one? No. I wish it smelled a bit stronger. Even if I could get a light to medium, I would probably be happy because it is a nice scent, but just very, very, very light. That is Rugged Mountain Rain. There's not much rugged about it. All right, so this is the portion of the video where I typically present to you the 6 scents to vote on, but you guys are getting a week off voting. But instead, what I need for you to do is just give me a little bit of channel feedback. If there's a certain type of video or a style of video that you miss from my channel, please let me know. I'm gonna try to be making some changes coming into the summer, fall months. So let me know what you're missing, and I'm gonna do my best to fill that in for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the reviews. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe. I'd love to have you. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.